Hey everyone, I'm Jory Richard. In this video, I've called Knowledge of Self. Knowledge of self, that's all that fucking matters. You need to find out who the fuck you are, why you are here, and what your purpose is. Just what the fuck are you doing? Because the problem is so many people don't have knowledge of self. In ancient Egypt, on top of all the buildings, it said, know thyself. So these people that built the fucking pyramids, that were intelligent as fuck, of course, yeah, their society ended up collapsing and fucking up because they were corrupt people in the end. But they knew a little thing or two, and that's why I try to get to the bottom of it. Right? Because when the Bible's like, well, don't go to Egypt. Don't search for information. Well, who the fuck is telling me not to research this shit? Because I went to Egypt and I found out a little thing or two. Like all the animal sacrifices in the Bible, it's not talking about sacrificing a real fucking animal. It's talking about a sacrifice in the cosmos, in the sky. And there is a decon in the constellation Cancer. I'm pretty sure it's Cancer. It's called Lupus. It's this wolf's lake. And then that's what the decon is. It's called Lupus. And that's what the Bible is talking about, sacrificing the animal. It's going upon, it's happening in the stars. It's not telling people to really do this shit. But it's very dangerous when people start taking the Bible literal, because then it says, therefore kill all the little ones, and every man child and every woman that hath not known man by lying with them, keep alive for yourselves. So is it really telling you to kill children? Or let's not take it literal. Let's say it's based upon astrology, and then find the real meaning. But we've been fucked with. It's been used against us. Jesus was made into a real person in order to turn us into a slave. Plug the mass amount of people with a myth that is going to put them in slavery and not allow them to think for themselves. And then put churches on every corner. You put churches on every fucking corner, someone's going to believe it. I really believe. I went to a lot of churches and people don't believe shit. They don't believe it. They're just going along with it because they're in a fucking cult. But then when you start talking about the real truth, they'll shut you down. You'll get outcast. They won't want you back at the church. You start talking about astrology and Lupus. Lupus, the fucking wolf that gets sacrificed in the sky. It's not talking about sacrificing real animals. The whole fucking thing is a parable. See, it's funny, when you get a phone call, it cuts off the video. Knowledge of self. What is the first step to knowing that? Why does it even benefit to know thyself? Because then if you don't know yourself, you're easily susceptible to mind control, and then people saying, hey, go this way. Hey, go that way. Then you start living somebody else's life because you don't know yourself. You're just taking somebody else's advice and you're going the wrong way. If you know who you are, then you can fulfill your purpose. But it first begins on taking control of this physical body and what is going on inside. And then once I get control of my body and what is inside, then the things on the outside will begin falling into place. And then my outside reality will begin to show what it looks like inside of my mind. But first I need to do some cleaning inside what the fuck is going on inside here, so then I can start manifesting the shit that I truly desire. But if I keep taking in somebody else's information, somebody else's bullshit, well then I'm going to start manifesting somebody else's life. That's why knowing myself is the first step to anything. So then when someone else's path or someone else gives me advice what I should do with my life, I'm going to say, yeah, go fuck yourself. I already know who I am. I already know what I'm here for. And I'm not going to go the wrong way. But if you don't know who you are, most likely you're going to take your advice from your parents. And then living in Sodom, if your parents are slaves, they're going to teach you how to be a cancer on the earth, to just work for money, and it don't matter who you're working for or if it's destroying everything and everyone around you. As long as you're making that fucking earth, paper, money, well, then you could buy things in the store that are supposed to be free. So enter into the kingdom of heaven, but first it's going to happen in the mindset of the person. And it begins by knowing thyself. And how do I know myself? I can study my astrology. My sun is in Gemini. My moon is in Virgo. My Mercury is in Cancer. My Jupiter is in Aries. My Mars is in Cancer. Mars in Cancer, it doesn't really coincide that good. Mars wants to burn down everything and fucking fight. And then Cancer just wants to retreat. So I got two energies, plus being a Gemini, my mind is going in many different places at once because that is the twins. So you start realizing, that's why I've been doing some stupid shit, because I didn't know that these type of signs were in my astrology. So I got Saturn in Sagittarius, Uranus in Sagittarius, Neptune in Capricorn, Pluto in Scorpion, Lilith in Cancer. Find out what your Lilith is in. Lilith is saying that I have a deep connection to my mom, and then it's almost like I don't want to leave my mom, or there's like mommy issues. So I need to overcome this shit. My Lilith in Cancer. My ascendant node is in Aries. And what is my rising sign? My rising is a Scorpio. Rising sign is a Scorpio. So you can get all your signs and then start finding out. Type it into YouTube. Type it into Google. Fucking study this shit the same way you were studying stupid, insignificant information in college. Things that didn't fucking matter. This information is about you. It's about yourself. So get your natal report. You need to know exactly when you were born, where you were born, the fucking year, the time. You plug it all in, and the internet is so amazing. It gives you the exact report. And then you can take all your signs and study each one, and you're going to get to know yourself. You're going to know your limitations, not real limitations, just shit that you impose upon yourself. I believe anything can be overcame. And the beginning, you just need the knowledge in the beginning. You need to know what the fuck is going on, to know thyself, and then you can begin applying it, and that is applied wisdom. Once you apply it, then your physical surroundings and everything around you will begin changing. But it will first begin when you know thyself. So that is what you need to do. You need to get your natal chart, your birth chart. Just go to Google and then type in "get my natal chart" or "get my birth chart." And you want to learn who you are, because learning and knowing yourself is the first step to impacting your physical reality. First, you have to work with your inside, and then your outside will begin falling into place. And the reason why your outside is so fucked up is because people got in your head and used mind control and many different methods in order to create a life that benefits them. So you're being fucking harnessed as a battery, and you're benefiting somebody else, when you need to take that fucking power back and then say, these are my 8 hours a day. I need to take my fucking 8 hours a day back. And then when I'm off, like today, this is my time. I need to figure out how the fuck do I get my 8 hours a day back, so I'm not giving my energy to an evil fucking system that is not going anywhere. I ain't winning in that system. That system is bullshit. It's fucking fake. It doesn't help anything. It just makes everybody lazy and dependent on some other person. That's why when you're brought to church when you're young, you're taught to externalize your power and to give it to someone else. And Jesus will take care of everything. When in fact, Jesus was the fucking slave master. And this just sets you up in your life in order to make sure that you're relying on someone else. And then you become a fucking slave, and then someone can take advantage of you and have complete fucking mind control, authority over another person. So you need to know thyself. Study astrology. And then just have it be focused on one thing. Studying your signs. You have 24. You have 12 here, 12 signs, and then 12 houses. And I just told you my signs. But I also have certain signs and certain houses. Like in the first house, like I said, is the ascending. And that's Scorpio. And then there's 11 more houses. 12 houses total. 12 signs. You get 24 different alignments or whatever you want to call it. But that's what I'm doing in order to discover who the fuck I am and then begin to get control of my reality. I'm Jory Richard, and this video is about knowing thyself. You know yourself, and this is the first step to begin to create your own fucking reality and then go lucid. The same way you step into a dream and it feels like, hey, I'm creating all this, but it's out of my control at the moment. You could begin controlling your dream and actually manifesting things directly in front of you. And this reality is the same. So we need to take the reins of our mind and know who we are and get control of this shit first. And then once we get control of our own mind, then our physical reality, the limitations that we imposed upon ourselves because of stupid shit that people told us, everything falls apart. And then we manifest what is in our mind. We manifest our true reality and who we truly are. And then we will find our tribe. People will hear the words of truth and they will follow you, and then you will have a real family, not some fucking ignorant fake people that don't give a fuck about you. Know thyself. And this begins with astrology. This is a great science and everything will fall into place. And then this is the beginning. You need to know yourself. I'm Jory Richard. Thank you for watching.